Hi, this is Toby. Welcome to this yoga flow today. We are going to have some fun, explore the body. Our final pose that we're going to work up to is ashtavakrasana, or bent at 8 angles pose, or at 8 places. So it doesn't matter if you get into a final version of a pose, or it doesn't really have to look a certain way or be a certain way. We just want to get into maybe a certain place that we're not used to going. So if you'd like to set that as your intention today, go ahead and do that. Start to breathe, and let's get started. All right, we're going to begin standing at the front of our mat. Take a few deep breaths as you start to roll your shoulders back. Standing tall, feel the feet flat on the floor. Feel your thighs engage. Feel your pelvic floor a little bit engaged, our Mula Bandha. Our Uddiyana Bandha, which is the lower belly drawing back towards the spine a little bit upward. Now let's take the hands to heart center. So our intention today might be to accept what is, that we might not be in the place we thought we were going to be or that we should be. Now let's take a big inhale to reach the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to the top of your push-up, shift forward and lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back for up dog. Exhale, press the hips up and back for your first down dog. So go ahead and find your version of your down dog today. Maybe the feet are wider than hip distance apart. You might want to bend one knee, maybe both knees. And find somewhere reasonable for your head and neck. On an exhale, we'll step, walk, or float the feet to the hands. Take an inhale to lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms up. You can gaze up if your neck allows it. And exhale the hands to heart center. All right, let's go again. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, hinge forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze goes forward. Exhale, step back to the top of your push-up or to your knees and lower. Inhale, up dog, heart is open. And exhale, down dog. So our fingers are spread wide. We are trying to roll the shoulders outward, away from the spine. And try to take the shoulder blades down the back towards the hips. And make sure we are breathing fully for your entire practice. Our number one foundation. On your exhale, we'll step, walk, or float the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and relax the back of the neck. Inhale, slight bend in the knees as you lift the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, once again, Samastiti. Inhale, arms lift, heart opens. Exhale, hinge forward. So no rounding in the lower back. We're trying not to. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze goes forward. Exhale, step, or if you hop back, you might bend the elbows. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back into your down dog. You might start to feel the side body open up. You might start to feel the back of your legs stretching with length. Now let's take an inhale to lift that left leg up and back. You can roll the leg around in the hip socket. Maybe you want to roll the ankle. Whatever feels really good here. Don't worry about how we look. We're really trying to feel something, which is not shooting pain. On an exhale, we'll step the foot forward, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, lift the arms, and you're just going to get as low as you need to feel something, maybe in the front thigh. Exhale, we're coming into our warrior two. So pivot the back heel down. And you're trying to get both hip points to face the side, the long side of your mat, along with the shoulders right over the hips. Gaze can be over the left fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front knee, and exhale, bend into the back knee. So taking a surfer's lunge, some call it, if you want to twist. Inhale, lifting the left arm up, right hand comes down to the mat. Exhale, take the hands to the heart center. Inhale, spin back into your high lunge with the hands at heart. And exhale, take it into a twist. So maybe your right elbow comes to the left thigh. Maybe it doesn't lower that far, which is fine. Your gaze could be up. Maybe it's to the long side of your mat. Just depends how your neck feels. We're not trying to crank anything around. Inhale, lift back up into your high lunge. Exhale, the hands to the inside of your left foot. So you're just going to go to a place with non-ripping, non-shooting pain. You might be sneaking your left shoulder underneath the left thigh. Arms could be straight or your elbows can be bent. I'm going to start to turn your left foot out to the left a little bit, dropping your knee open. You might reach around with your left hand, grabbing the right foot, just getting a nice open twist here as you get into the left hip. Exhale, the hands to either side of that front foot, toes spin forward. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Maybe you leave the left leg lifted. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lengthen back into that downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Again, you can do any movements that suit your body here. It doesn't matter if one side is a little bit different. Trying to note and accept these things. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, lift the arms. If you're not breathing, you can leave your hands at the hips. Or you can lower the back knee down. It doesn't matter. We're being mindful, moving and breathing. Exhale, find your warrior two, getting wide to the side. Inhale, straighten the front knee. Exhale, bend into the back knee. So your back knee is facing the back corner of the mat. Toes are in the same direction. Again, if you like, go ahead, inhale the arm up for a little bit of a twist, just an option. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, spin forward into that high lunge. Exhale, start to twist towards the right. prayer twist. Inhale, unwind, lift the arms. Exhale, hands come to the inside of the right foot for our dragon or lizard pose. Your right shoulder might sneak under the right thigh. You could have the back knee down if that feels more appropriate for you. Start to turn the right toes and knee out to the side. And go ahead and take your twist here. Maybe you want to take a bind. Make sure the back knee is not in pain. You might want a blanket underneath the back knee. Exhale, release your bind. Bring the hand to the outside of your foot. Here we go. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Maybe you leave the left or right knee lifted as you lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. If you need to ever take a child's pose or come to table instead of a downward facing dog, feel free to do so. On an exhale, make your way into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Release the back of the neck. This time you might want to grab behind the legs. You might want to grab opposing elbows. Just something to really encourage that length through the spine. Release any bind you have. Inhale, halfway, gaze forward. This time, exhale, take the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up. You might get a little back bend. Exhale, back to Samastiti, hands to heart center. All right, let's take the feet hip distance apart. Inhale, lift the arms. You can lift the left leg. And maybe you want to take the left ankle to the top of the right thigh, bending the right knee into a chair balance. You could have your hands at the heart center. You could do something different with the hands or the arms if that suits you today. So use your breath here. Use the bandhas and use your drishti, your soft gaze. Inhale, lift the left leg back up, lift the arms. Exhale with control. We're going to try to step back down. And inhale, let's take the other side, lifting the right knee. Exhale, hands to prayer, right ankle to the top of the left thigh as the left knee bends. So if you need to feel a little more in that outer right hip, you can really press the knee, right knee towards the earth. Inhale, lift the right leg back up. Maybe you kick it out. And exhale, come back to the mat and go ahead and shake out the knees and the ankles if you need to. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, now we're going to turn the toes and knees out to maybe about a 45-degree angle as you come into your yoga squat. So stay lifting the heart up into the hands. Keep the shoulders reaching down away from the ears. If this hurts your knees, you don't need to be super low, or you could even have a block underneath the sits bones. Feel free to stay there or come into a crow pose. So you can bend the elbows to face directly behind and you can sneak the knees up on the upper arms. So maybe just one toe comes off the mat today. Be sure to gaze forward and try to lift the lower back up towards the ceiling. Exhale if you like. Kick back to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale, up dog. And exhale back into that downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Inhale the left leg back up. Exhale, bring the left knee behind the left wrist, preparing for our pigeon pose. So the left foot might be behind the right wrist. And we're going to get a little length through the torso. So maybe you're coming up onto the fingertips. Maybe you bring the hands forward. Feel free to stay there. You could come down to the forearms gradually. Maybe you lower the torso and the forehead all the way down. So your arms could stretch out in front of you. If that hurts the shoulders, bend the elbows. Maybe you make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. So here we do want to try to have both hips going evenly towards the earth. So we're trying not to roll to one side or the other. On an inhale, begin to crawl the hands back up towards the body. On an exhale, go ahead and roll all the way onto the left sitting bone, sweeping the right leg forward. Flex the toes towards your body, towards your face. Inhale, lift up with the arms, gaze goes up, and exhale, lengthen towards the foot. Doesn't matter if you grab it or not. Inhale, halfway with whatever you have. Exhale, fold forward. So if it is available, you can grab the left wrist with the right hand or the pointer finger and the thumb. Inhale, lift back up with the arms. You might gaze up. Exhale, the hands down. Inhale, bring your left knee to face the ceiling. You might be able to step the left foot over top of the right thigh to the outside of it. Inhale, twist, lift up with the right arm, and exhale your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. So if that doesn't work for you, just hug the knee in towards your body. You want to make extra sure you don't have any knee pain. Inhale, unwind, lift the arm. Exhale the hand down. And we're going to, if it is available, you're going to bend your right knee. So now both feet will be on the, you'll be on the outer edge of both feet. So you can stay right here in this knee pile pose, as some like to call it. You might bring your hands forward a little bit. You really want to, again, encourage that length through the spine. When and if it becomes available, you can start to relax the head down, relaxing the spine. So pay attention to the knees. If one of them hurts, you can straighten back out the right leg, and you can uncross the left knee as well. Maybe you're just cross-legged here with the left foot in front of the right shin. As you inhale, start to lift back up. And on an exhale, we're going to take the left ankle on top of the right knee for our fire log pose. So you have both shins facing the short end of your mat. If this doesn't work, again, you can just bring the left foot in front of the right shin. So once again, we're going to lengthen. You might not fold at all. That might not be appropriate for you today. If it is, once you get that length, you can relax the torso down here as well. I want to come back to the idea that it is not important how we look in our poses, so just let that go. We can let all kinds of things go here in our forward fold. On an inhale, you can walk the hands back. And exhale, we're going to release the legs out in front, feet out in front. Go ahead and take some windshield wipers with the knees. You could lean back if that feels good for your neck. All right, let's take a boat pose. Inhale, lift the arms and legs. Exhale, cross the ankles. Shoot your legs back to the top of your push-up and lower. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Once again. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale for your pigeon pose on this side. Pointing the left toes directly back. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. You might stay up here or go ahead and exhale as you start to bring the hands forward. And again, when it is available, you can reach the forearms down or the arms can come straight out in front of you. Notice if you want to rush into the full expression of the pose or your full expression of the pose. Just because it was a certain way on one side does not mean it'll be the same way on the other side. On an inhale, the hands can walk back towards your front shin, get a little length. And exhale, come on to the right hip as you sweep the left leg forward, energizing the left leg. Make sure you're on your sits bones. And on your in-breath, lift the arms. Exhale, lengthening towards, somewhere towards the foot maybe. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, nose towards your toes. Maybe you are grabbing the right wrist with the left hand here. What other expectations do we have? Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, bring the right knee up. And maybe you bring the foot to the outside of your left thigh, maybe not. Exhale, your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, elbow to the outside of your thigh here, or just hug it in. So we want to get a nice even twist. So try to lift from the lower belly, belly button turns towards the side wall, then the heart, and the head is the last thing to twist. So you might start to gaze off the back shoulder, and that might not happen today. Keep the straight leg active. Inhale, unwind to center. Exhale, your hand down. And you're just going to pile the right knee now on top of the left. You might or might not bend the bottom knee. Make sure both sits bones are flat on the floor. So if not, you can bring a blanket under both of them. Start to lengthen. Might start to fold. Let go of any tension in the back of the neck, the jaw, the face. Everything softens here. Inhale, begin to creep the fingertips back up. And exhale, you're going to find your fire log on this side, so your right ankle might come to the top of the left knee. Make sure the knees and hips both feel safe. Lengthen the spine. Once you get that length, you can start to hinge forward. And when and if appropriate, here we're going to soften. We're trying to maybe a little bit soften emotionally, soften spiritually, soften those demands on yourself, those demands maybe that we place on others. They might not be reasonable. Maybe in some situations they're reasonable, maybe some they're not. Just give everyone the benefit of the doubt. All right, you might start to creep your hands back up, slowly unwinding the legs. You might jiggle them out. You might take those windshield wipers with the knees. We're going to take our Baddha Konasana, our bound angle. So bring the soles of the feet together. They might be out further in front of you. Maybe the heels are close to the body. Let your knees determine that. So you can open the soles of the feet like you're reading a book. That could relax the knees a little bit more towards the earth. Once again, we're lengthening. You might press your elbows gently into the inner thighs to encourage a stretch. Or you could always reach the fingertips forward to get a little more length through the shoulders, through the armpits, the side body. And if it is appropriate for the neck, you can relax the head down here like a bowling ball. As you inhale, start to gradually, once again, bring your hands back, grabbing your knees, drawing them in. We're going to gently roll on to the back, or however you need to get there, go ahead and do so. So we have the heels right in front of the sits bones. We have the toes pointing forward. Let's take an inhale to lift the hips. You might roll the shoulders under and grab your own hands. Instead, if that doesn't work, you can reach your hands towards the heels. You just don't want to have a lot of pressure on that C7, the big bony part of the base of the neck. So think of lengthening the crown of the head towards the back of the mat. And on an exhale, we'll release the spine back down. Hug the knees in. And we're going to rock and roll back up to a seat, or however you need to get there. We're going to bring the legs wide apart, flexing the feet, heels are pressing out. Hands can come down to the mat behind you. Take an inhale to get a little back bend. And exhale, we're going to come forward into that wide-legged forward fold. So just like before, we're lengthening the spine first. Maybe you're on the hands, the forearms. Once you feel the length, go ahead and release in. Maybe you are, like me here, making a little pillow with your hands for your forehead. So you do want to keep the legs active. And if you discover you have any pulling or being pain in the lower back or even any part of the back, just come up a little bit. You don't have to be extreme. Different things might feel extreme for your body on different days, depending what you did the day before, maybe depending what you did the week before. Inhale, gently come back up to a seat, grab underneath the knees, and we're going to roll back onto the mat again. Taking a second bridge pose. So for this one, lift the hips, try to lift the spine one vertebrae at a time. And this time we're going to bend the elbows so your hands are right under the hips. So for me, this makes my hips just a little bit higher. It might be different for you based on your body shape, the length of your forearms, the length of your torso. So that just might be a variation you like here. Try to keep the thighs engaged. They're parallel with each other. Shins are parallel. Toes are parallel. Exhale, we're releasing back down. And then let's hug the knees in. Maybe taking a couple circles in each direction. And we're going to rock and roll once again to a seat. This time we're going to plant the right foot flat on the floor, and you might be able to take the left outer ankle to the top of the right thigh, just like when we were in our chair balance. So actively press the left knee forward. You can sneak your chest towards your shin as much as you need to feel a good stretch. This is where some of you might need to put that left foot behind your head. I will not be demonstrating that. We're taking it as a twist. So bring the right hand behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm. And you might be able to exhale your left elbow to the sole of the left foot. So just kind of like a variation on our twist that we did before. So if that doesn't work for you, you can just hold the bottom of the foot or just take a gentle twist in some way. Maybe you even want to bring your right leg straight out to the ground. Inhale, unwind, lift the left arm. Exhale, extend the right leg out. And this might work. So you're going to try to bring the left thigh over the upper left arm. So you're bending the elbows. You're bending both elbows and lean forward. crossing the right ankle over the left. Squeeze the thighs together as you keep leaning forward. So kind of like our crow pose. This is our ashtavakrasana. Gaze forward, lean forward, engage the bandhas. Feet are reaching out to the left. And exhale, lower the sits bones back down. So that just might be a bump up. You don't need to cross the ankles. And let's take the other side. So left foot comes down, right ankle comes to the left thigh. Again, your left foot is as far forward as it needs to be, or maybe as close to your body as it needs to be. Right knee is actively pressing down and forward. Maybe sneaking the chest, the heart towards that right shin. Maybe taking the foot behind the head. Who knows what could happen. All right, so take the left hand behind your hip. Inhale the right arm and exhale your right elbow to the sole of the right foot, or some variation again here of a twist. It's just a little, it might be a little different than our usual twist. So that's okay if it does. If it doesn't happen, who cares? Have a little fun. Breathe. Inhale, unwind the right arm to center. Exhale, here we go. So maybe you can, like you're putting on a backpack, put the right thigh over the right upper arm. Bend the left elbow as well. You might just bump up, lifting your sits bones off the ground. Lean that torso forward, lean the heart forward. Bend the elbows. We're crossing the left ankle over the right and kicking both feet towards the right. So your feet are trying to not touch the ground. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Squeezing the thighs around that right upper arm. Exhale, lower down and extend, jiggling the legs out. All right, let's roll back onto the back once again. Maybe you want to swing the knees to side. Inhale, we're lifting the hips up one more time. This time you might want to bring your arms back behind you if that feels appropriate. Again, you don't want to have pressure on the neck, so really think of lengthening the neck. Maybe you want to do a full back bend here. It's up to you. This is your practice. Exhale, let the spine come back down, bring the hands down, and you might want to bring the knees in. Again, maybe some circles to release any tension in the lower back, and take it right into a twist so knees can drop to the left, arms can come to a T or cactus arms. Left hand could come to the outside of the right thigh, just if you need a little bit of weight to encourage the twist. Begin to relax the breath here. Relax the facial muscles if any tension tried to creep up. Inhale, knees come to center, and exhale, just drop them over to the other side. Gaze can go off the left fingertips. Inhale, knees come back to center. Give yourself a hug. Appreciating what you've done. And we're going to settle in for Shavasana. So whatever is comfortable, You are maybe just letting the feet drop whatever way is natural for them to drop. Your palms might be up to relax the shoulder blade area. You can even swallow once or twice to release the back of the throat, the teeth naturally coming maybe a little bit apart. And the tip of the tongue might come to rest behind the two front teeth. So we've done our work here. Now we are totally letting our body relax. Let the skin relax over the muscles. Muscles relax over the bones. Bones soften into the earth. And take rest. Let's begin to make a little bit of movements with your fingers, your toes, the head. You might take a full body stretch. And on an exhale, you can hug your knees in, roll onto your favorite side in a fetal position. And press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Feel free to bring the hands together at the heart center, taking a moment to really acknowledge your efforts today. Take some gratitude for yourself for making it to your yoga practice. So important to do something mindful for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed your practice today. The divine joy and light in me honors, reflects, and bows to the very same divine joy and light that dwells in you. Namaste.